Good day, everybody. Welcome back to CJfarmGrit. So what is this huge monstrosity we are currently driving down the vineyard with? Come with us to look at the farming technicalities of winter work on a juice grape farm. Let's get into the video.
So this is the front of the pruner. You're looking frontwards to the front to rear. So when I first get in the row, these are called the mulchers. This is completely powered down, so we're good. These are called mulchers. These will cut everything under the vine and everything below the bottom wire. Then these are called the mulchers. Then once the vine comes through here, and these are called opening wheels. So these will kind of go around the vine. So I mean, these don't make too much contact. These will kind of hit the vine first, and these are just kind of soft rubber. So as the vine passes through here, it comes to these, which are called rakes. Yeah, these are made of rubber. See how one's broken off right there, kind of like the picker. So we just unbolt that, replace this. We have a bunch of these. It happens a lot. So see how this is all rubber, and these are just like a piece of rod melted into the rubber or something. So these will move back and forth. See that? So that's why they break off.
What do these cut?
These just rake everything up on both sides. Come here. There's rubber all around. These are all rubber. And these rakes they go this way and they rake everything up. It rakes everything up, and these are called the precision cutters. So there's one on each side, and they just kind of spin, kind of like those bottom ones, but a little bit like nicer. So these rakes will rake everything up, and then as you're moving forward, everything will stay up, and these will cut everything to length. And these are also adjustable. We'll move them up and down according to the concords or Niagaras that we're pruning. Yeah. These cutters, precision cutters, will slide up and down like this. It comes through, and then the stick gets between those cutters like that, and then it just cuts it, and it falls to the ground.
Is that it?
And then this big black thing right here, there's a bunch of hoses, hydraulic hoses, and stuff behind this. So this is here to protect, because this whole thing is on a swing, a pivot. So, see that? So when you're on a sidling, this part up here too. These are in two different things. So this will move, it'll swing frontwards and backwards. So if something gets caught and you like hit a post or a vine, this will swing backwards like that. And it's also moved side to side, just so everything's like nice and loose. There's a big old rubber block up there, so it's like still stiff and firm. But this thing, when you're on a sidling and the whole tractor's kind of like sideways because you're on the hill, these will slide in and it would whack and tear up these hydraulic hoses and whack on this. So this is just so everything's smooth, and it'll just rake against here when you're on sidling. And we have these little notches cut out right there because when you're on sidling and it's raking against this, these fingers will get caught up on this little ridge. So Dad just cut out 2 notches. I need to finish smoothing this off. The bottom of this needs to be smooth so it can just freely come in here and rake down.
And then it goes this right here. It'll go down.
Yeah. So this is the mast. So this bolts to the front of the tractor, and all this stuff is for support because all the weight's over here. This is holding it from going that way. This is for like sway control and holding it from going this way. So this is the mast, and this goes inside of itself. And this is the cylinder that lifts it up and down, the hydraulic cylinder.
Okay, so that is what the mechanical pruner looks like on the outside. Now let's take you inside and prune some rows with us. We gotta clean everything for you all before we have company.
Yeah, I gotta put my seat up. I usually...
It's crooked. It's crooked. Hold on.
To keep it aligned and cutting at the right height, I'm either looking at the bottom wire, I'm keeping that bottom cutter right above the bottom wire, and then it's cutting the top the right length. And then that bottom cutter cuts everything below the bottom wire because we don't need anything below the bottom wire. Those 2 top cutters cut everything between the top vine and the bottom wire. And you're left with that. So that's not the finished result. employees still come through and touch it up quite a bit, makes it quite a bit shorter. But this can't cut to the bud length, so it just cuts at a general length, and then they cut it to the exact bud length that you need.
Why is there a pile of sticks? Tell our
people. Because I don't know, it happens.
Because that is the most farm. Because.
It's mainly because there's gaps between there, and then when you cut those sticks, cut it so that extra stick that's on the outside gets shoved in between there. So I gotta open the cutters to not get in the anchor post. I shut it off. I don't know. I gotta turn it on. And I close it right when I get to the post.
Show what you're doing.
So see how this thing is kind of swinging right now? See how it's swinging back? So that whole thing's on a pivot. See that? If there's a crooked vine like that, it'll swing back so it doesn't break anything. So we have this hydraulic lever always being held down with a string and this popsicle stick to keep it tight. Because you need constant flow to the pruner. This whole thing is ran hydraulically. As you can see, all these hoses here. So this is being constant hydraulic fluid being pumped.
What is the most scariest thing about this job?
Probably cutting young vines from the start. I've only cut like one vine, and that wasn't my fault. It's because it was like out and crooked, so there was no other choice.
I know, but when did you start doing this? 11?
10.
You were not.
It was right after we did the first harvest. I did that pruning, and then the next year I did the harvester. So this pruner is hooked up to our Power Star 75. This is the biggest tractor you want to comfortably fit down a grape row. It's nice because it's got a flat floor, nice seat. This whole seat actually pivots, so I can be facing straight at the pruner. But I don't like that. I like to look straight. It actually reclines.
Hold on, I can't see.
Reclined. This is a really nice tractor.
Another really most common question we get is why isn't everything automatic, and why can't you just let the tractor do the work and you sit there? So none of our tractors have GPSs or
we don't have those tractors that have the GPSs and like the fence and the John Deere's with the Starlink on them. Those are like over 100 grand. You can add Starlink and all that stuff to the tractors we have.
And I mean, I wouldn't trust it, because there's sometimes where what am I trying to say?
Yeah, it's not sometimes. It's always right. It's always
okay, that's what it is. It's because like in like the Midwest, like all the corn farmers, they will have GPS and they're just kind of sitting in their tractor, watching the tractor drive in open field. There's vines and there's rows, and so
these are permanent crops. So if you take one out, you got to replace it.
Yeah. So if
you're losing crop, you can't just go replace it, like put a little seed in the ground. It's just more of a process than that.
If the tractor was to have a glitch and all of a sudden just starts doing donuts in the middle of the field, all the crop would be taken out with it. So it's permanent crop, and that is another reason why we do not have GPSs on the tractors.
The main reason is because we don't need it.
Yeah.
The second reason is because they're twice as expensive as normal tractors. And third reason is it's kind of dumb.
And I mean, we're sitting there anyway, so is it really that hard just to have your hand on the steering wheel to steer? You know, because you have to be sitting there anyway.
He says his John Deere's, he can put the Starlink on him and have him drive himself, but he doesn't. It's like $3,000 to put on.
His tractors look like toys.
He just bought a Fendt tractor. A Fendt tractor, and it can drive itself.
What color is that?
Green.
Why is it a different name?
That's what it's the darker green than John Deere, but it can drive itself, but he doesn't do it. But you got to map it and stuff, which is dumb. As I get in the row, turn it on. I get past the anchor post, shut it as soon as I can. We only go about 1 mile an hour. A long time ago, well, not long time ago, 2 years ago, Dad used to go twice through, prune every single row twice.
He would go down and then go back up that row.
So everything would get pruned twice, which took twice as long, twice the fuel, twice the time. Well, okay, not twice the time, because he'd technically go a little bit faster. He'd go, instead of going 1 mile an hour, he'd go like 1.5 down and back up, because he did it twice. He thought it did a better job. Once I started pruning, I found it didn't. It was the literally exact same. So we were talking and we figured that it would be better to go once through.
So the mechanical pruner goes through and gets just like the main brush and bush.
Yeah, it cleans it up quite a bit, because especially on some farms, it gets really, really, really bushy. Like, I mean, you can't even, it's so bushy. But, and then that cleans it up to like where they just gotta nip like 2 buds at a time. So they go way quicker. They go way quicker and do a better job, because they can see better and fit in there better, because it's so shorter and less material.
But back in the day, Dad and Grandpa, it was like Dad and Grandpa and then like one other worker. They would prune everything. I'd walk through in the winter, snow was on the ground, and Dad and Grandpa would be in there pruning. But now that we have the mechanical pruner, Dad is now mechanically pruning while the workers are hand pruning.
Also, I lower it right when I get to the bottom. I lower it all the way down to that post, so everything right here gets cut. It's just, it's not something we have to do. It's just something I've liked to started doing this year. But then we got time to do posts, brush pull, which, I mean, we don't, none of us.
Blonde sister.
Yeah, she usually does it. She was raised in that tractor. I don't know why she does it.
Funny. Blonde sister has still not taught me how to drive a semi yet, because so we used to have to clean Kent, our semi, and we don't want to. So we haven't recorded that yet. It's probably gonna be maybe in February. I'm trying to think what the videos we have coming for you guys, and I think it may have to be in February.
So I told my other sister a couple months ago, when they were talking about doing the semi video, teaching her how to drive the semi, I told her, because I'm still kind of teaching my older sister some tips on driving, but she's got it down good. But I told her, you put the guitar together and I will tune it. So she teaches her, and I will refine her driving, because somehow I don't know why, but I'm pretty good at the stick shifts on semis. These grapes were all wine grapes before our mom and dad bought it, and then they ripped out the wine grapes and put these juice grapes in. But they didn't replace the trellis. They kept the trellis here. So this is all little T-posts. They're like 1/15s, really small T-posts. They're wine grape T-posts, because wine grapes don't weigh as much as juice grapes, because they're like 1/3 of the size and don't have as much juice. So they barely weigh anything. So.
Just say that again. Say barely weigh anything.
Because they barely weigh anything, because they don't have any juice and they're like 1/3 of the size. But these T-posts are really small, so I have to open, because these cutters on the bottom.
Just a minute.
So these cutters, they have gaps in between them to cut the vines. And on the T-post, I have to pop it open. Otherwise, if it gets caught in the right spot, that T-post will get in between that space in the cutter.
You have to pop what open?
The jaws, I guess you could call them. What I was calling them last year. It's got pop them open.
Yeah, I think you said teeth.
No, I said jaws. I just watched that video. These are the 2 main buttons I'm using. This is, I turn it on and off with that, and this is reverse, and this is moves it in and out, and this moves it up and down, and that's it. This does throw a lot of sticks. The majority of the sticks, it'll drop down straight to the floor, then the brush puller will get them. You see, these things are going like this, so it'll fling sticks that way. A whole bunch of sticks will pile up right here by this window on this little platform. I think where the DPF would be if this was a newer tractor.
As the time of recording this, just a minute. We never have a drone during pruning. So
I did get some drone footage. I wanted to get it in the dark. This looks really cool in the dark.
Well, it's too late now. You guys are gonna have to stay tuned until next year to see drone footage of the pruner, because as of right now, we do not have a drone. That's all still trying to figure out what we're gonna do with that.
Yeah, this would look really cool in the dark. I never got drone footage in the dark last year, did I? No, we didn't have it last year.
We didn't have it last year. You keep crashing it right after harvest. Either during harvest or right after harvest.
A drone a year.
That's not funny.
Yeah, this would look really cool in the dark.
Okay, so speaking of the drone, we put up a category on our link that you guys can give channel support if you would like.
And we had it Gen Z farming. That's just what we had it for.
But back in December, our drone crashed, and so we stuck in parentheses drone, so money toward that will go to a new drone. And so that is now fully funded. Thank you to everybody who graciously gave money toward a new drone on our link, as well as on the YouTube platform through super thanks. So thank you to everybody. That is now fully funded.
But since late December of 25, DJI and most all other foreign drones are banned in the US. And DJI was like what we use, like camera-wise, drone-wise. So,
and we will let you know when we get a new drone, and we're still researching all that. So,
yeah. But thank you to everyone who, in 2025, who gave on YT and on our link. We will list all of your guys' names, your usernames up on the screen, like right now. So to all of you, thank you. Your channel support is greatly appreciated. Thanks. Some of the names that were listed have given multiple times, so thank you to each and every single one of you.
Buy a donkey all around. Oh, we're almost done. Ron's sister hasn't pruned nothing. She brush pulls. Ron's sister,
she brush pulls all year. Dad and I switched on the pruner.
Yeah.
I've been doing anchor post because it's been warm out while Dad prunes. I can barely whistle. Can you whistle?
Nope.
Really? At all? You can't whistle at all?
You know I can't.
Really? And you touch your nose?
You're disgusting.
Can you wiggle your ear?
Yes. Yes, I can. Hold on. Now I'm smiling. I can't do it now. Yes, I can. Watch. I do
Barely.
I do it so much better when. Hold on. Can y'all wiggle your ears?
I could do that since a very young age. Remember that? Now that I can wiggle one ear at a time.
I can do it. I can't do it. You're putting me on the
That's
spot.
one
I
ear.
can't do it when you want me
The other
to.
one.
I do it like just randomly throughout the day. I'll find myself wiggling my ears.
I can move both really good at the same time, but it's harder to do one at a time. Are we done?
No, I still need to do the intro. You need to see that you're all scrunched in, that you don't fit.
That little lever, that little circular, push that in, pull it down.
That's too much.
Yeah. Now put it in third gear, so pull up that little lever, push it down over and into
Do you know how
third.
many levers are here?
The gear, the range selector. Yep, now pull it up, all the way up.
Am I supposed to push in something?
No, just pull it all the way up.
Up.
You gotta pull harder. Push that forward, let go of the clutch. You know how to drive a tractor.
Yeah, but not with the thing that's gonna come crash into me
It's
back.
not going to. You can push that as the gas. Now shift.
I can't see squat.
Yeah, no kidding. You're hitting all the potholes.
Oh, my hair. Oh, that's.
Let's go.
I can't see nothing.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is rotten cabbage.
Kind of a fun tractor to drive, isn't it?
Yeah. This seat, I'm digging the seat. How do I put it
Yeah.
back? How do I put it back?
A little lever right there by the seat buckle.
Do you
Pull it
know
up.
how many levers there are?
Give me.
Where? I think I can prune.
Yeah, we just wouldn't have any young vines left.
How do I put it back? This is comfy. Ooh-hoo-hoo.
Go.
I'm going.
7 mile an hour. This will go like 20.
Yeah, but I can't see. This is so spacious.
Yeah, it's
This is
nice.
the biggest tractor we have
Yeah.
because it's permanent crop and they're rows, so we can't have all those big tractors you see like corn farming and stuff
So
like
actually,
that.
our tractors are cooler because they're specialty tractors.
Can't see you do it over and up.
Our tractors are cooler because they're specialty tractors.
Yeah. We've got pretty special tractors.
Go. Let's get going. Fourth.
I can't see. Show them what I see. Flip it.
Yeah, you can't see much with the pruner on the front.
No, that's not my view. Come back. This is my view.
This seat is uncomfortable.
Bye, donkey, for watching today's video.
Hope you enjoyed this little tractor ride.
And we'll see y'all in the next one. So, how old is a mechanical heart? How long have we had this?
Not too long, actually.
You bet his phone's in here. Happy New Year! Jimmy, what was my question? How long have we had the pruner?
Oh my word.
Drone. But we just want to tell you guys thank you for. Am I the only one that says something? Fall from his mouth?
Seat always makes me look weird. I'm doing something with my arms. I'm like,
Excuse me. Just say blonde. Blondie. So I told Blondie. Everybody calls her Blondie, just say Blondie.
no, I'm not
Say
saying that.
Blondie. Huh? Oh, that's good angle. That's good. Good. Get the spider. Get the spider. Get the spider.
There is no spider.
You're disgusting. Come on. It's dead. Anybody can pick up a dead worm.
That's not, it's alive.
That is dead.
You're alive, buddy.